We have the REL Division 5 precap. You've got myself, Gypsy Prince, Chief Editor of Rebel News. We've got here with me today. Take it away.
This is everyone's favorite divisional admin, Rumblebee.
Yeah, Rumblebee just took over Div 5, not, what, an hour and a half ago?
I mean, if I'm going to recap you guys, I might as well be your admin. One-stop shop.
Alright. I definitely had one more tab open. So, this is our first recap that we've done together. My first recap in general, so feel free to give advice, feedback, whatever. But we do have a couple things that we'd like to talk about segment-wise for the future. We've got 5 different segment ideas that we're looking to do, and then today we'll just be doing kind of a recap of the teams that are in the division, where they came from last division, and kind of where those teams are sitting right now. So, for segments, Rumble, do you want to cover off what our segments are?
Sure. First, obviously, we're going to do predictions and recaps. So every week, we're going to give you guys the predictions for each of the matchups, and we'll recap the previous week's results. Every so often, we will do coach interviews. So if you'd like to be interviewed, either myself or Gypsy will take care of you guys, and we'll ask you some questions and just a better way to get to know the other coaches in your division. We will also do an in-depth team review. Usually it'll be about one team a week, and we'll go through and look at their best players and how we think they should develop the rest of their team, things like that. And then occasionally we'll do game replays where we'll pick one of the games from the week, maybe a particularly important game for the standings or a fun game to watch, and we'll do like a caster style recap of it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing that. It's something that I've wanted to do. It's just really hard to do when people are playing live games, just because it ends up being really long in between turns, so you really can't have that quick play-by-play kind of action going on. But hopefully we'll be able to squeeze that in every once in a while, along with the other activities that we'll have week to week. And then lastly, another segment that we're talking about doing is the Ask Rumble section. This is where you guys can give Rumble questions for advice, anything from how should I level up one of my players? What should I name a player? What should I name my firstborn child? Relationship and dating advice. He's open to it all, folks. So go ahead and reach out to me if you want me to ask him live on stream and force him to come up with an answer, or reach out to him. Give him a little bit of time to think through how he wants to react. I also want to give a shout out to Arch for creating this graphic for us. I am the Fox News channel. B is the little B, of course.
It's no smug goat, but it's good. Thank you, Arch.
So looking at the teams we got coming into the division, we've got 4 people coming from Div 4. We got 2 people that were in Div 5 last season. We've got 4 people in Div coming up from Div 7, 2 coming up from Div 8, and 3 from Div 9. Rumble, you want to start by walking us through Flyboys here?
Certainly. The Flyboys are a human team coached by Klepto Knight. They are coming down from Div 4. They went 4-3-6 last season. And let's take a look at their team. Oh, okay. Well, their tagline is 7 dead blitzers in 8 games. So
That kind of tells you where some of those
where they're
losses
at.
came from. Yeah. Oof.
I mean, well, the good thing is they're not in spiraling expenses. So
Yeah, they're coming in at
right.
1680 for TV. They have spent a lot of cash. Holy cow. That is so much money that they've earned. But they do have
Yeah, no, that's
a few monster players in here.
yeah. I'm looking through right now, and all right, here's the deal, guys. I've never rolled an agility up ever in my history of Blood Bowl. How do you guys get 3 or 4 on one team? It's not fair.
Well, I guess you have to take a niggle and an armor break to get that.
I mean,
Or
yeah.
how many dead blitzers was that again? I mean, I look at his players, and the ogre's got 25 games played, and he's the only one who has played what looks like every game for this team.
I mean,
So
he's a
definitely,
good ogre too.
oh yeah, block on an ogre is amazing. He's got a lot of skills on there. He's got a lot of stat skill ups, which maybe you have to sacrifice a couple blitzers to get, but I can see this team having a little bit of legs under it though. Just if they can sustain players, the blitzers are the easiest to level, them and the catchers. So definitely have some good core and a lot of skill ups that can definitely help the team go forward.
Yeah,
We've
no, this
oh,
team is definitely going to be hard to deal with for some of the slower moving teams in the division because he can pretty much 2 turn whenever he wants. He's playing an elf team.
yeah, he only has one tackle at the moment, but um, with everything else going on with the team, I definitely see it being a good point for a couple weeks or a couple weeks down the season to get a couple scalps on those blitzers, get some more guard and tackle or mighty blow, and definitely have some strength at that point. Let's take a look at Starstruck by Captain Induce. He was also Div 4 last season. He went 4-2-7. Apos ain't sheet. He probably had a similarly difficult step with some of those apothecary rolls, but again, look at these stat ups. Man is he's got some things. He's got a story to tell. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, you can almost one turn on a blitzer at this point. I don't see any. Oh, he does have one catcher at the very bottom here, so getting some catchers and getting them a little bit of growth would probably be great for him long term. The ogre being niggled, not great. Niggled lineman also not ideal, but with
right.
guard,
But
it, it's a
yeah,
worthwhile piece.
you just hold on to him until he dies.
Hopefully, isn't too soon.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have taken that second agility up on that blitzer.
Yeah, with it being guard and mighty blow, maybe not. Definitely seeing him be able to get in and maybe punch the ball out and do a little bit of diving, but uh, I don't know. It seems like it's a little all over the place there. Got a double on the thrower, so definitely could see some long bombs later on the season with another level or two.
Yeah, and he's real close. He only needs 1 touchdown to level. So
Just curious who he had previously. So he did have Turley, you know, Mighty Blow, another movement up. He had multiple strength up players too. Strength up thrower, strength up lineman, lost an ogre. So he's definitely had the same kind of luck. A lot of deaths on the team. Probably looking to do a little bit of recovery again this season, or it spirals out too crazy. You want to introduce Tim?
yeah. Um, Tim is captaining a dwarf team called Things Dwarves Hate. He's coming down from Div 4 as well, with a record of 3-3-7. But don't let that record fool you. He missed a few games last season due to some real life circumstances. So he's looking to rebound, and it's actually my favorite coach in the division. I mean, I'm partial to dwarves in general, but he just bought a runner named not
Not
Rumblebee.
Rumblebee. Maybe a little bit of
So,
pandering to the crowd here.
well, I had to do a an admin win for him last season, and I rolled his level ups real nice. So he leveled up two of his players that he really wanted to. So when he bought the runner, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna name it after you.
I do
And
find
I'm
it
really
funny. He's got one of his blitzers is Captain Deuce, who was the human team we just covered. So there's probably a little bit of rivalry between those two. Movement on the blitzer is kind of a interesting and useful thing. Dwarves need all the movement they can sometimes.
oh yeah. I'm a big fan of taking movement on your fastest players. Just having that extra square of movement can get you places that people don't expect you to get. Like it's real useful. And I wish that my dwarves would start rolling some stat ups.
Yeah, and he's got tackle palm, stand firm guard player. Wonder how many. Oh, he's only got 3 MVPs, so he must be doing some work. Well, 3 MVPs last season, I guess. Um, he's got a troll slayer that doubles for the jump up. Um,
Hmm.
took took movement on the last level up. A little bit surprised with the jump up. Might consider that he'd get piling on, but perhaps that'll be the next pickup he gets.
I like the movement on the Slayer too.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really need your Slayers to move all that much, but if in a pinch you can count on the extra movement to avoid the frenzy GFIs. So, I mean, I accidentally frenzy GFI all the time, and having to burn a reroll on it is not fun.
And he's got the wrestle runner. Bit of a ball hawk there, so that'll be interesting to see how that comes out for him.
Yeah, the Raj tackle is pretty great.
Oh, I didn't even see the blodge on him too. Wow,
Yeah,
that makes him
yeah, that's
really good at doing that, getting in there.
yeah, that's a good runner. And we expect good things from not Rumblebee because that's going to be his primary ball carrier.
Sure.
You're going to see first level up's going to be a strength up or an agility up. Calling it now.
Not movement.
No,
That would be too good.
Rumble. Yeah, Rumblebee likes the strength ups.
All right. We've got Corn's Glory. You want to take us away on him?
Yeah. Coached by 10 Coin. That's a very nasty chaos team. Um, they went, or they're coming, or no, they stayed. They were in Div 5 last season, and they're staying in Div 5 this season. Um, 3, 2, and 8, which is about what you expect from early chaos. But
Hey,
he's starting to get some development, and oh, what's this team?
looking
This
at
is
the amount of TV he has, that is a really big team already at this point.
yeah, no, he's meme team supreme. He goes mighty blow
Oh, jeez.
on everything first. Mighty blow and
Mighty
then
Blow
claw,
Claw.
and
Um,
he's got enough tackle to make the elves quake. He's got enough guard. He's right. He's got 4 guard right now, which is real solid.
he's got
I
block
always
on the
like to.
Minotaur too.
He has a Minotaur.
Oh yeah, it's in the middle of the list there.
Oh yeah. Oh god, he does have a Minotaur. All right, here's the deal, 10 coin. Fire your Minotaur. It'll make your team better.
I don't know. He's got block on that Minotaur. I don't know if it's worth firing at that point. I mean, usually the liability is that, you know, without the block, he's either getting that boat down, falling down, or people are just punching him, right? Doing the uphills and taking him out. Block on him, I don't know. I could see him being useful.
Well, if he levels up again, what do you think he's going to get? Probably Claw.
Claw if he gets a double, yeah, for sure. If he If he doesn't get a double, break tackle, I'd say.
Yeah, break tackle would be nice.
Looks like he did have a little bit of warrior casualties as he was coming up. Two of them are still technically rookies of one MVP apiece, and he just can't get a casualty on them. He's got 14 games played with no extra SPP on one and 10 games on the other. So
Yeah. Well, 10 coin. Here's the thing. They're AG3. Just vanity pass. All you need is that one SPP.
get some touchdowns.
Not even a touchdown. Just pass
Oh,
it.
that's true. Yeah,
Like you don't really have the movement to pull off a one turn. So you get the chance, pick up and throw it.
it's not a bad play. I know I often do that with my AG3 guys in the backfield. Just have one pick up and
Even
throw to another one.
even on agility 2 guys, if you have a reroll to burn, the 75% chance of a vanity pass with AG2, it's more likely than a casualty.
It's true.
So if you're right there, go for the pass. That's how I leveled up my flesh golems when I used to play Necro.
Well, these guys are not AG2, so they're
Yeah, even better.
got an even better chance that it's like 85% or something like that, or 86. So yeah, 10 coin, definitely looking to see these warriors take off if you take Rumblebee's advice, and um, you waited that many games just trying to pass here or there, probably worth it at this point. And you do have 4 rerolls, so you're sitting a little high on those to begin with. So, all right, we got Flingin' Fun, who's Mr. Christie, the halflings representing the division. He's he's a bit of a hoot to watch from time to time. He's stuck in Div 5 still. Last season he went 2-0-10, so not necessarily the greatest record. I know he loves tossing halflings. He's got a lot of good halflings on the team too, so I think he did pick up a couple of these from free agency though. Maybe not. Some of them have the generic names, so not just maybe. But they are a 1270 team at this point. When they all come back, he's got a dirty player kick, so 2 doubles on that fellow. He's got double movement ups on one halfling, movement up, and a double for the wrestle on another with a jump up, and an agility halfling. And then a double on Lotho Cotton. Another double for the sure hands. Wow. I mean,
almost a legend halfling.
I think Christie wants to stick around and see if he can't get this guy to legend. I think that's his long-term goal, but that'd be something to see for sure.
All right, Div 5, here's the deal. Whoever kills that halfling, I will give you a $20 Steam voucher.
What?
Christy, if you make it to legend, I will give you a $40 Steam voucher.
Oh, I was gonna say. I'd almost say, hey, division, hands off Lotho Cotton. Let that guy live. We need the legendary halfling. It's a lot of touchdowns to get him there, though. It's a long route, but already 99 SPP. He's been playing this team for quite a few seasons at this point too.
Yeah, he's been playing it since Legendary launched.
So that's 4 or 5 seasons?
4, I think.
Okay. And I know he was. Trying to think how far off Stunty Cup he was last season. Just because Stunty Cup is, completely different than any other scoring system. Looks.
He only won 2 games. So
Yeah. Oh, this has different record for him than I put in my notes. He was 2-3-8, not 2-0-10. I gave him less credit than he deserved. I apologize. Yeah, he's middle of the pack for the Stunty Cup last season. I'll be keeping an eye on him personally as I play Ogres, so he's direct competition even if we're in a different division, so he's got a lot of good stat ups. I don't know if he recycles guys if they don't get something good. Just looking through his list of dead, and looks like he's retired a few after one skill up without any permanents. So, um, but a
Maybe
couple.
just trying to keep his TV down.
Oh man, he had a strength up, mighty blow jump up halfling at one time, who
Yeah,
was
wasn't it? It
move
was
busted, then niggled,
something
and then
something
died.
tea leaf, right?
Bob Tea Leaf, yeah.
Yeah. Bob was featured in the Superstar Shootout, I think.
Oh, and thanks, CR boys. I didn't even notice this tree had block and strength.
What?
Yep, Twiggy. So he's
That's
rolled
pretty.
quote unquote two doubles as well. So
Yeah.
if you're rolling a level up, you may want to call Mr. Christie to breathe on those dice for you, because he's definitely got that magic going on.
Yeah. So I did some quick math on Lotho Cotton. It's only 26 touchdowns.
Well, that's
That's
not
two
so bad.
touchdowns a game. As long as he scores
Um,
2 touchdowns a game, he's got it.
well, he only scored 18 touchdowns over the last two seasons, so uh, that might be difficult to get there, but we'll
Oh,
see.
now he's got sprint and sure feet. That's a move 8 halfling.
Pretty, pretty legendary guy. Hopefully, a true legend at some point. All right, you want to take us through Lord Teton or Tetan?
Yeah, it's an orc team named the Sons of Sam coming up to us from Div 7. Went 6, 2, and 5. Well, looks like he's got one thing on his mind. He's gonna
Kill,
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 kill.
and kill. See, this is the type of orc team that I like to see because it looks like he's prioritizing guard over mighty blow.
hmm
So that's real helpful for an orc team because without the claw, they need to maximize the amount of blocks that they can get, and having all that extra guard will help deny blocks to some of those claw teams that can just shred you. Not that
Wondering.
he doesn't have a decent amount of mighty blow.
Yeah, he's got a handful of that. Only one piling on, but full on killer with the Angel of Death.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
oh,
you don't really want to have too many piling on players with the type of team that he's building. You'd like to have your players standing up for the pitch control. You don't want them laying down on the ground.
I was trying to think if this thrower was actually his thrower or if he bought him off the market, because plus strength orc thrower feels like a meme, but
Um,
may just be his thrower.
yeah, I can't see him buying a niggled thrower. We'll have to ask him.
Yep,
So,
definitely catch up with him later on that. And he's got a couple other, pretty good skilled up players, but definitely we're reworking on a couple black orcs here. Well, one he's had the entire career of the team, who's only leveled up once, and then another guy who looks like he's only got 3 games played, but already at 8 SPP at that point. So I want to say, is this only a second season team, or did he take a
um,
break? We only have
it might
one
just
season.
be he's only played 15 games.
That's what it's showing here, but if he skipped a season, then it wouldn't have that season data. But looks like he was in Div 7. Yeah, he was in Div 7 last season, and he must took season 8 off. So,
Hmm.
all right, we've got
Chub Step 3.0.
right. He doesn't quite fit the naming scheme, so I think he may have been purchased.
Purchased. I mean,
We've
it's
got
a guard black or it's a guard lineman. It's always
it's
good for orcs.
it's useful. I mean, more guard the better. That's what I hear. I've never played orcs to any significant degree, so
I mean, He's got 6, so that's a good start. He's got a lot of stand for him.
Yeah, definitely building to be almost like an annoying dwarf team, just a little bit faster, and they can actually do stuff with the ball occasionally. We also have Rock Lobstrosity with Crawdad Zydeco Experience. Good. Campbell's soup is good. Got 2 seasons on this team. It's humans again. I think that makes 3 humans at this point, and that makes all of them. He was in Div 7 last season as well. He went 6-4-4, so reasonably positive record. Kind of right down the middle there. He's got no more rerolls. About 1750 TV. We're pretty darn close to it. Did pretty well in the touchdown department last season. 25 touchdowns to 17 given up. So it's a pretty good differential. Just kind of looking at how he plays a team. He went. I jumped too far ahead and saw the catcher, but pretty normal start for a lot of the players. Got a double on the ogre, which getting that block is really helpful for that strength 5, just so that you aren't getting uphilled as often. Pretty normal blitzer starts, 1 killer and 2 guard pieces, so like seeing that. Thrower kind of double to get the dodge and then block, so he's got his ball carrier with the accuracy on there. One pretty. I don't know how you only have 3 SBP after 5 games as a catcher, but still a rookie at this point. Maybe just gives too much to Uncle Tiberius, the blodge diving catcher. And at first I'm like, diving catch, that's funny, but I remember that humans are only agility 3, so getting that 2+ catch is kind of a big deal. And it helps if he's got folks on him and all that. So then another lineman with a guard and a move bust lineman that I'm kind of surprised is still on the team. Maybe that 2 SPP is pretty valuable to him. Waiting for that MVP to come through. His linemen do not stick around long. Outside of his guard lineman, the 9-game lineman is the eldest lineman on the team.
Maybe he's just attached to him at this point.
It's like he survived enough that you got to keep him around. He did have a level 4 ogre. Is that 2 skill ups? No, that's level 3. That took an armor bust that got retired. Block catcher that took a movement bust and got retired, and a whole bunch of dead linemen. So definitely kind of seeing a trend with a lot of the teams in our division. They've had someone not particularly nice beat up their team a little bit. But definitely liking seeing more human teams. Kind of interesting that a lot of them kind of fell in the same division, but hopefully that means they won't murder each other too much, since it's just them and, well, yeah, there really isn't that much murder. No Nurgle. Is there no Chorfs? There are no Chorfs in this division.
Yeah,
I want to say they
is...
like grouped all the Chorfs into like a handful of divisions. Just so they can't
I
get
really
bonus on
like
each other.
this. I like this Catfish Carl Blitzer. Move up, frenzy, and dodge. Um, if you look up at his stats for last season, he's got 9 inflicted surfs.
Oh wow!
And having the move up with the frenzy is really gonna help with that. And then I like the dodge pickup because he can just dodge out of the area after that happens, so he doesn't risk the counter surfing.
Yeah, and he can pick up Mighty Blow, or not Mighty Blow, Stand Firm next being Blitzer. So
Mm-hmm.
And I think the dodge helps a little bit from getting base, so you can kind of get into the position to make the hit that you're looking for. So definitely, definitely like that pickup. And whenever you can take dodge, you take it, right? Um,
Yeah, for a human team with really any agility 3 team, if you can cut down your chance of blowing a reroll on one of those 1 in 9s, you should do it.
yeah, and just to keep standing too. I mean, humans have to almost dish out as much as they take in order to be, kind of reliable, right? So
Mm,
not getting knocked down as much. They do have AV8, so that helps a bit, but
right.
staying on their feet
Uh,
definitely helps out.
when I play humans, I usually go about it based on my opponent. Like if I'm playing an agility team, then I'll try to dish it out and bash. But if I'm playing a bash team, I'm not going to try to go toe to toe with them, even though I have the capability. I'll try to
Sure,
play a more agility style game. So
it
having
makes
the
sense.
dodge helps for both of those.
Yeah, getting them out of base to base contact where you don't want to be.
Hmm.
All right, you want to teach us about the Authorks?
Uh, the Authorks, coached by Doof. That's a good coach name. I like it. Uh, Another one of the Div 7 call ups went 4, 3, and 6. So middle of the road.
Got a pretty high TV, just like the other Orc team did, just sitting shy
Yeah.
of 2,000.
Why? Why is his TV so high?
He's got a little bit more development on the blockers, but definitely has a lot more injuries on the team. He's got an amazing thrower. Is that 2+ bombs everywhere?
Yeah. Strong arm, accurate. Oh God.
Right? Pro agility.
Or Orc Scar Wild. Bravo, sir.
Yeah, these are
Bravo. Socrates.
Jork R. Martin,
Uh, Good job, Doof.
Nickel Orc, Machiavelli.
Uh,
I enjoy it. Looks like he's got block on almost everyone but a wrestle on a lineman sacker, ball sacker to be specific. Uh, Probably opening a dodge on that at some point. Not as much dodge on the team compared to the other orcs, but we do have dodge on 2 of the blitzers. One straight up killer with pro and dauntless. Yeah, I don't. Maybe his 13 players rather than having the 14 or 15 that the other orc team had is kind of where he's carrying or not having as much TV, because I definitely feel like they're a little bit more developed than what we saw from Lord Teton or
yeah.
Titan.
I don't know. 180 TV and an Orc thrower. That's
Looks,
gonna be a nightmare.
looks like William Shorkspear, one of his retired blitzers, uh, had tackle Mighty Blow strip ball frenzy, but took a move bust, and he decided to recycle him. But looks like he didn't waste too much time, getting the levels where he needed them. So
Yeah, this would be a pain to deal with. The only thing I don't like. Two, 4, 5. I mean, he's got 5. He's got 5 guard. I was gonna say I don't like it, but I scrolled up and he's got more guard. So
yeah, yeah.
ignore
So
everything I just said.
there are 2 total orcs in the division. So we'll be watching them. See which one performs better as we come through. But it'll definitely be interesting to see how they play out. This guy with the amazing thrower, maybe that's how he levels his blitzers so quick, is just runs them down the field and says, "Here, catch this." I think the other orc team also had 4 rerolls, so It's another, I think, 70k or 60k on orcs. I forget what their reroll cost is.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that should be fun. You want to take us away on our newest member of Division 5?
Yeah, Cunning Fox Pup got brought down from Division 4 from the original planning. He's still a call up from Division 7, though we just had to do some pre-start day shiftings. So he got the good old stanky boot.
Well, and I
But
think he's happy to be one division down.
well, yeah, this way he dodges a Robbie.
Right? So to be the guy who got I forget if he on Division Day was like, oh man, how did I end up all the way up in Division 4? Well, uh, buddy, you made it. You're back in Div 5. Backwards
Yeah,
safe.
and if you do well enough this season,
Maybe you can
you'll
skip
leap
Div
you'll
4.
you'll leapfrog a Robbie, and you won't have to deal with him. Um, yeah, no, he's a necro coach, and I enjoy necro. Um, he's a trim necro coach too. Um, he's got Mighty Blow on one of his woofers, and then just a standard blodge tackle on the other one. Looks like he paid his golem tax recently. Just bought brick
Oh, just
wall,
one
make
game
more
away.
in the way.
Yeah,
I mean, standing, not moving so much, is rocking out block guard. That's really all you need them to have is blocking guard. Um, I like that dead guy makes you dead. His white went guard stand firm because I think on Necro you have to build your whites as more support pieces than say an undead team would. Um, I mean, I see that he's got the mighty blow palm uh,
with Pro.
white named Murder Tackle good, but I like to have the guard stand firm on my whites because the team's all about the wolves, and he's already got his blitzer with Bitey McStab and Slash, who he's Niggles now too.
Yeah, Niggled and
Oh,
AG busted.
I remember I remember when he took the AG bust. I didn't know he got a niggle too.
That may have
Ugh,
happened in the OI.
the OI was not nice to you, friend. Um, so yeah, maybe having that white be a murder white is a good idea too.
Yeah, have him collect all the boots while they're playing,
Uh,
and dead guy giving a little bit of support for the serfs and making sure that you've got your guard piece that's mobile.
yeah, he's got a dirty player zombie and then a bunch of rookie zombies. That's the way I like to see it.
Yep, just sitting on the
Agility
line.
on agility on a ghoul. That's great.
Yeah, faster
Um,
McDodgy guy is probably gonna go what block next, unless you think you're gonna take. You'd want a ball sacker.
um, yeah, that'll be interesting to see how he does it. Um, with the increased agility, I would maybe go wrestle and then tackle, and then maybe leap, and just get someone who can cage dive pretty effectively, like a hobo uh, war dancer.
Sure,
But he might go for the
block
uh,
sidestep.
he might go for block sidestep, and if he does do the block sidestep on that one, I would like to see ball fondler McLow armor take Russell and tackle and use
Sure,
him as a safety.
makes sense. Yeah, he's already sporting 3 tackles on the team, so
Yeah, and that's one of the downsides to Necro is you don't really take any tackle early, because the pieces you're gonna want to get it on are going to be your wolves, and you typically want them to have blodge first before you uh, pick up your own tackle. And Frenzy's kind of like a poor man's tackle, anyways.
Hmm.
So
What do you think about getting kick on a zombie?
I would get a kick zombie. Um, just having ball placement with a couple of move eight nonsense players will come in handy.
All right.
I mean, this helium. Ooh, ooh, helium. Is that
Oh,
Miss Stays' old zombie or old player?
could
I
be.
bet it is. I bet that's a trophy.
Because he doesn't, yeah, he doesn't fit the naming of everyone
Uh,
else.
and I know Miss Stays plays all elements from the periodic table.
Yeah, but I think does he currently have a helium on his team? Because I think he just chooses a new element whenever someone dies. So
I don't know.
you have to double check that. He does have a fair number of dead players that were quite good. Double movement plus ghoul. I see brick in the wall, Mick in the way, or brick wall Mick in the way, who looks like he recently died. He had 23 games played, so um, yeah,
That
I
golem
guess
decks.
he had a game or two where he didn't have a golem and was able to buy the other one. So yeah, it definitely bringing a little bit of balance to the division. This is what the second claw team we've seen so far.
Yeah.
And there is one more chaos team, so maybe they'll get a little bit done there. And they do have quite a bit of tackle, but I haven't seen too many things that can dodge outside of halflings. A handful of humans. We do have one dark elf that's coming up, but yeah, so maybe the tackle's a little bit overboard at this point.
Nah, you can never have too much tackle. Says the man who starts with tackle on 70% of his players.
Right, playing dwarfs. All right, we got Big Chuck playing dark elves. Oh, we have two dark elves. My apologies. Big Chuck comes from Div 8, where he went 6-2 and 5, and he is up to 17-20 in TV. So a little bit lower than where Andy Davo was when he was in the playoffs, but he's got a couple nice stat ups. Blitzer with an agility up, movement, dodge, and leap. So he could be a scorer. He could be a ball sacker. He can do a little bit of both. He's got your standard blodge step blitzers along with tackle on both of them. A brand new rookie blitzer. He's got a blodge step witch with a movement increase. So under 23 games, she's got 5 touchdowns, 5 surfs. So um, totally awesome indeed. We've got Superb Owl being the other witch elf, full on ball sacker with the wrestle strip ball. Went with block on the runner. Are you kidding me? I kind of would expect um, leader normally, I guess, but he is running 3 rerolls on the team, so maybe not prioritizing that as much for the TV efficiency. And then for real dough with kick and dodge with the niggle, which I guess your kicker doesn't get hit too often because he's not on the line of scrimmage to start. Um, and just a couple other small, you know, level ups on some linemen. Looks like the runner is fresh though, with only 2 games played. Wonder. Oh man, his last runner was guard and strength. not a not a bad combination.
Yeah. No, this is a nice looking elf team.
Yeah, pretty standard. Nothing crazy here. The couple stat ups on totally irrelevant um, makes him a bit of a player to watch, but otherwise just standard standard elf things, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, there is one thing I don't like about this team.
What's that?
Well, you got all of these animal puns.
You get the red herring Zord.
No, no, I mean a herring is a type of fish, so that counts. But all these animals, but no bee love? Come on, man. It's unbelievable.
Right?
Unbelievable.
Well, too bad he bought you bet giraffe before we could do this recap. Um, maybe he could have some sort of pun
Yeah,
representing yourself.
yeah. What could have been
I also know
here.
that Big Chuck is one of the people that raised his hand already to do an interview coming forward. So
Not
um,
on my watch.
not until there's a B in the squad. Okay. You want to take us through um, the Broken Boys?
Certainly. The Broken Boys, coached by Shazzle Bob, coming up from Div 8, went 7-2-4. It was a pretty solid showing for some Khemri.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of
And
high TV, almost 1900 on this team.
yeah, it's a lot of people in spiraling expenses.
It's true. He has like all the toys in here.
Yeah, it really does. He's got the agility up Throa. He's got a strength up Blitzra. Block Tomb Guardian. 2, 3. He's got 3 guard to support those 4 strength 5 players.
Six mighty blow. Got the
He's got a
agility throw raw with
leader. Oh, he's got lead. Yeah, well, both of them have leader. Does he only rock 1 reroll? Oh no,
well, he
he's still
only gets
rocking
one of them.
3.
That did he buy one of them? I want to say he bought one of them.
Okay,
There's no
but
way you have 2 liters this long, unless you screwed up a long time ago and just never adjusted. Because a Blodge throw raw's gold.
right,
Having 2 of them and one of them having an agility up, kick, return, and fend, also quite nice.
yeah. But the only thing I think is a little weird is he's got the 2 leaders,
Hmm.
but he's still got 3 rostered rerolls.
Yeah,
So he's clearly not doing it for TV efficiency.
it's true. Yeah, I'd have to check to see if he's had both these guys. Entirely possible. So much mighty blow, a lot of just punching people.
Yeah.
One piling on with frenzy and juggernaut. Does that guy actually get surfs? No, he does not. So he just punches even more.
Yeah, he only had 4 surfs last season.
Well, with those kind of skills, maybe, but
Yeah.
um,
I
so I don't
mean,
know. It looks like a pretty strong team. He did well last season, 7-2-4. That's pretty close to playoffs.
yeah.
I'd have to see what Div 8 look like specifically, but um, apparently he's a very killy team according to CR Boys. So
Well, I
look
look forward to seeing his skeletons go stomping.
right. Looks like he got sixth place. But it was a really close division, so
Yeah,
it
I was gonna
wasn't too
say
far off.
7-3-4 or whatever.
7-2-4, yeah.
That's 7-2-4. That's pretty close. If you're not near the top and you're sixth, must have been pretty solid competition.
Yep.
Almost like the admins know what they're doing when they build their divisions.
I like when they're competitive. Makes it more fun. Um, we've got Negative Pros Mystery Science Goat 3000. It's not too distant future. In the not too distant future, my bad. An 1800 Chaos team. They went 3-1-9 last season, so they had a rough go of it in Div 9. And so this must be like a third season team because I think Div 9 was all second season. Looking at some of the stat or players that he's got on here, he's got a Claw Mighty Blow Minotaur. People like this, they're Minotaurs in this division. Um, he's got going block first on all the warriors, block first on almost all the goats too. Looks like he picked up one early tackle once, and he got one goat to get doubles twice, so now he's got two heads and extra arms, so ball
Oh, goats
carrier.
get mutations on normals.
Not for chaos.
Yeah, for chaos.
No, they only get mutations on doubles for chaos.
No, that's Nurgle.
And that Nurgle always got it.
No. Oh no, Nurgle get it too, but chaos get mutations all the time
Okay.
because it's only the Minotaur that doesn't, I think.
Okay. Well,
I
everyone's
don't know.
telling
I've
me
never.
mutations are on a normal in Twitch chats, so
Yeah.
he's put a lot of arms on guys, surprisingly. We're looking at three players with extra arms. Got a tentacle on a beastman. Just a fellow who looks like he likes playing the chaos to be a little bit weird. Um,
Yeah, it's definitely not a standard chaos build. That's for sure.
yeah, I would definitely agree with that. So, it's
But
interesting,
it's fun.
right?
It's
Hey, you
weird to
played.
see tentacles on a strength 3 player.
Maybe it's for goblins and noblars. I don't judge. I mean, I play with noblars, so if people are out to get me. Looks like he did have a beastman with extra arms and sure hands last season who was double niggled and decided to retire the player at that point. Oof. So looks like this guy is he's got a lot of skills. He's got a lot of long-term potential. I mean, it's got a lot of oddities, I'd say that for sure, but um, I think it's something that a division like this that isn't super bashy, like there is a fair bit of bash, could be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Um, with all these extra arms floating around, it'll be real useful for all the passing that's going to
Yep.
be happening with all those
2+ passes.
nonsense. Yeah, with all those nonsense throwers that we saw. So maybe he's just playing the long game.
Yeah, I get some very long legs and go for the interceptions. he had
Plus
one.
two to
He had one in the last two seasons. So, you know,
just get those guys some very long legs, and when they roll doubles, get them catch. That's what 3+ rerollable intercepts.
right? Well, and I guess he can do pretty easy vanity passes, right? Because then he's able to catch on a
Yeah,
2+, throw on a 3+. So I see one goat eat punch beef. Could probably use at least one vanity pass. But yeah, we got two teams left to go. We're about 50 minutes in at this point, I guess. So not too bad going over a full team summary.
yeah, that's not so bad.
You want to take it away on Sir Willis the Third?
Yeah, the Royalton Circus, the Kislev team coming up from Division 9. They went 6-1-6, so pretty good record. Let's take a look at their team. Nice and trim.
Yeah, he's got two agility linemen, which are great. I mean, they're better than a catcher in my eyes. The extra armor and the extra strength come a long way.
Yeah.
He's got almost a one-turner catcher, sure feet and movement and dodge. So definitely see that guy doing some catching and touchdowning.
Yeah.
Got a niggled ball sacker. catcher, which maybe if he levels and takes Dauntless, I think I'd be more okay with, but I'm not a huge fan of trying to make your ball sacker a catcher. Just yes, the leap on a 2+ is better, but the loss of strength makes it a lot harder, in my opinion.
Yeah, see, but the issue with having that strength 2 catcher as your ball hawk
Hmm.
is you've got this Agi 4 lineman down here. Both of them rolled the Agi up before anything else, and he took block on both of them. So for like Skylift Sam, I would have gone agility up, then wrestle, then tackle instead of block, because he's leaping on the 2+2,
Hmm.
and he can get into that cage exactly the same, but he's not going to suffer from the low strength, and he's got a little bit of armor that'll keep him from immediately getting punched to death. So I think it's about time to retire Wade Gesser Wilson.
Yeah,
I mean, he's niggled, he's AV7, and he's clearly used for running into things.
yeah, he's definitely going to be a liability. Without dodge too, he's just going to get punched and knocked out pretty easily. Looks like he did do a little bit on the market, picking up. I want to say for sure Angry Bear Tamer because I think that was one of Mr. Shady's. I don't know if Two Tooth Tommy was on there as well, or if he traded for Two Tooth Tommy. So,
I don't know. I didn't really follow any of the Kislev teams last season.
but he does have the Pure Killer and Red Eyed Rich. Hoping he can pick up a dodge next, I imagine, just to help him survive a little bit. Couple good guard pieces. I think guard catchers like Exotic Animals Alexi, super helpful for the team. I mean, they're going to get punched and knocked out, but getting that guard into position is really important. And
Yeah,
he's
those 2+ leaps are terrifying when you can just throw it wherever you want.
right. Along with the dodge, you can get through a couple squares, dodge into the exact place you're guarding from, and then the ball is popped right out. I do know this is technically like a season and a half team. Mr. Willis actually was in my league. I think it was 10D 2 seasons ago, and he was almost like a precursor to ramp up. He's someone that started week 4 or 5 of that season to fill one of the
Okay.
gaps that we're having. So nice to see him sticking around and making some progress. I know he had a really good season for the short season that he had previously, and 616, isn't terrible. Like to see some of those losses turn to draws, and you got a pretty strong team at that point. Pretty good showing. All right, and then last but not least, we've got Walking Carpet with Sugar and Spite, a Dark Elf team that also came from Div 9. Went 8-1-4, which I think put him in second place for Div 9. They had such good records in Div 9. No, that's third place. To go 8-1-4 was still only third place. But he's got 4 blitzers, one of which is currently out. Gouged eyes. That's not a niggle. Must just be a miss next
No,
game.
it's just a miss next game.
So he's got a blodge step with guard on 1, which is great. Something that you love to see on Dark Elves. Movement, Dark Elf, kind of like we saw on the other team. Or Blitzer, I should say. I got a Mighty Blow, blodge step tackle. Great for killing skinks and other small critters. We got a Blitzer with strip ball, which I think the other team had one that died as well. So these Dark Elves seem to like their blitzers with strip ball. We got a witch that, to me, in my eyes, would be a better sacker with the wrestle, sidestep, and then juggernaut, which creates an interesting opportunity for surfing. He had 18 surfs over the last 2 seasons, so it's definitely something that he prioritizes. And then Comfeneth uh, with the wrestle tackle, I guess, is kind of like another ball hawk. Seems like this team definitely is trying to get in your face and pop the ball out and try to run around on the field with it. Um, I know Andy Davo used to go with the double wrestle on the witches, but now is moving a little bit more towards picking a block on one or two of them. Um, I'm kind of ambivalent towards wrestle. It can be useful, but um, on an AV7 piece like this, it tends to be a little bit of liability as well. Putting yourself on the ground isn't super great when the boots come storming in. And it doesn't look like he had anything too crazy die. He's only lost linemen so far, a couple block linemen. So he's had a pretty successful kind of development season with these guys, or 2 seasons, I should say. And with having a good record last season, I can only see that they're going to probably keep picking up and will probably do pretty well this season as well. Any final thoughts on this team, Rumble?
Um, no, it looks pretty good. I think it'll. I think it'll do all right. Elves doing elf stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not really seeing like there are a fair number of teams with a handful of tackle, but I don't know if many of the teams have enough tackle to deal with 6 blodgers or combination of blodge and raj, I guess, with a couple sidesteppers. So they may have a little bit of good season with doing some of that. Well, so that's recapping all the teams for this first week, and I was going to put myself on the spot for who I think is going to be best, but Rumble, what are your predictions for the season? First, now that we've looked through all the teams and kind of looked at what was strong and who's coming off good seasons and what have you.
All right. Well, this division gets what, 3 playoff spots?
This is Division 5.
Yeah.
That I am not sure. I want to say it might only be 2. Now I need to figure that out. It's in our admin chat somewhere, right? Yeah, because Major Byte was looking to update the website with it. Now I'm trying to figure out where that happened. They kind of restructured all the playoffs this year with the play-ins, and this team's kind of, you know, able to avoid most of that, so it's not as big of a deal. Um,
There it is. Mario.
so how many spots do they have, Rumble?
5 gets 2.
2 spots.
2
So we're
spots.
we're guessing how many or what we each pick 2 teams, I guess. Is that how we want to do it?
Uh, yeah, we'll pick our first and second, and then just for funsies, we're gonna pick the team that we think is gonna end up in last place.
Well, I think we both kind of know where that one's gonna go. Um,
So we're
sorry,
both
Mr.
in agreement.
Creasy.
It's gonna be the Punimals because they don't have a B-related player.
Fine. Yep, you're going with the Punimals. I'll
Yeah,
let you say that. Um,
you're really gonna begrudge me my pettiness.
you can be as petty as you want. Um, I Mr. Christie had a really rough last season. I don't see this division being particularly friendly to halflings. They have a lot of difficulty with dark elves, orcs. I think some of the humans are kind of developed to do well against them as well. Um, so sorry, Mr. Christie, but you're also competing with me for my playoff chance for the Stunty Cup. So I have to say that you're going to do the worst because I can't have you somehow doing better than me and taking my spot,
Now who's being petty?
right? As for top two, who do you think's got best shots at playoffs?
Best shots at playoffs. Let's see. I think that Kemry team is going to be a nightmare for people to deal with.
Okay.
He's got a lot of guard and a lot of strength and a lot of mighty blow. And there's not a lot of things in the division that can stop him. Um, 10 coin has a lot of mighty blow and a lot of claw, but I think if the Kemri play it right, they can just bully their way around. So I think they'll take one of the top two spots, and then I think things dwarves hate is gonna
Yeah.
make it. They're gonna ride the back of their brand new runner, not Rumblebee, who is going to roll both a strength up and an agility up.
Yeah, and you make a good point about them being out the 3 weeks last season. If you take out those games, they were 3-3-4. So being in Div 4 last season, having a record kind of like that, uh, probably means that they've got a good chance. There's not a lot of claw in the division as well,
Mhm.
which I think will play out in their favor. Um, so that's probably a pretty decent pickup. Um, I hate dwarves though, so I can't say that they're going to be the best pick. Um, for me, I think it's probably going to be. I like the pick of Broken Boys with Kemery by Shazzlebob, but just to be different than you, I'm going to go with Lord Titan with his orcs. I feel they've got some good development and they're really in a good spot. So I'm going to give them a nod. They were in Div 7 last season and did pretty well there. And I think I'll go with Sugar and Spite with the Dark Elves, this last team that we're looking at. Um, they did really well last season. Um, and I think that their team's in a good spot that they could definitely create some issues for teams trying to hold on and score with the ball. So I'm going to give them a nod and see if they can't pick up one of the playoff spots.
Both very valid picks.
Well, so that's pretty much everything we have for you guys today. We covered off all 13 teams that'll be in the division for this season. We went through and did our picks. And trying to think, do we have any Rebel related news that we want to talk about? Plans don't matter for our division, so we don't need to really go through that. Um, Mark your long term calendars. We do have an extra week in Christmas to get your game in. Kickoff should be tomorrow on Wednesday. I think we're talking about doing it, what Fed say, like 7 or 6 Eastern, or Western, I should say, Pacific. So
Yeah,
look out
I
for that in the
think
scheduling thread.
because both him and Lumi are on West Coast most time.
And
So
our plans for doing this overview, Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock Central, seems to be a good time for both of us. I'll try to get this up on YouTube within the next day here. If I don't get it up tonight, I'll get it up tomorrow. And when we do interviews, those don't necessarily need to be during this time period. Depending on if Rumblebee can figure out how to record audio, or if you do it with me, I've got the full setup, so I will be able to slice you in and have you as part of the live stream as well, based on your questions. So that'll do it for us. Anything else you got you want to share, Rumble, before we sign off?
No, I just want to say that I'm looking forward to being your guys' divisional admin and your recapper. It's gonna be a fun season.
All right. Well, thanks for coming out, folks, and we'll catch you next week.